Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and today we're gonna do my April bottle haul. And there's a lot of bottles, so we're gonna get right into it. So the first week of April, I was in Cuba. So you would think I wouldn't buy a lot of whiskey, and you're right. However, I might have brought back a lot of cigars. Not gonna say if those are Cuban or not. I'm not trying to get in trouble with whoever cares about that, but just say there's a good amount of nice cigars in my house now. I did pick up a Havana Club Smoky and a Havana Club Spicy. The Spicy I got from my friend Omar, so he already got it the other day. And the Smoky, if you watch my super long video the other day, remember seeing me drinking that with a cigar. So this is a backup bottle that I got from this trip. I also picked up 2 of the Wild Turkey Rare Breeds non-chill filters from the airport. They were 45 bucks. I got 2 of them. I already sent them out to friends. And I got this cool bottle that I got at a cigar lounge. We were doing an experience with our tour guide's mentor, and there'll be more to come with that. He actually signed it for me right there on the tag. But this is basically like the last of this bottle. Like, they're not making this anymore. We all had a pour of it over there, and I just ended up buying the rest of the bottle. So cool story, but I'll talk more about that once I finish editing my Cuba video. So then came back, and I had one day to apparently spend money. So let's get into those bottles. I feel like I'm missing some stuff from this particular day. I kind of looked at all the receipts, but anyways. So I did find a receipt for the 7th, which is the day I came back before I went to Kentucky. I went to one of my local liquor stores to pick up this bottle that I won in their weekly raffle. Basically win the opportunity to buy it. So I picked up the Jack 10 for $99. I bought this to get an extra ticket for that week's raffle, which I did not win. The Starlight Port Finish, that was 70 bucks. I also picked up this Copper and Cask cigar blend whiskey, 20 years at 72.6% alcohol. Batch 10 for 90 bucks. 20-year-old cigar blend for 90 bucks. Right up my alley. So it is Canadian whiskey. I do have a few non-chill filtered. That's good. I do have a few other ones at different ages, and I'm eventually going to compare them. A lot of eventuallys. And I also picked up a couple fillers. The store just got them in. He had them all open to try them. So the toasted bourbon was 75 bucks, and the Unison wheated was 42 bucks. Then I went to Kentucky, where I spent some money. Okay, and this is everything I picked up in Kentucky and brought back anyways. So the Starlight, this is an exclusive one to the distillery. And it was, $99.99. Thought it was 100 bucks. Pretty good. Obviously, it's open. Had that for my Whiskey Cigar Club. Just like this one. This is the small bottle. This is the Bottle & Bond Cash Strength, which is crazy because it's 100 proof. But this is bourbon that's not finished from Angel's Oven. I picked up 4 of these, thinking that, oh, I just come back and my friends are going to want it. I haven't really asked, but if you're in the market for one of these, they're $55. Let me know. My email's in the description because I got a couple extra ones. I don't need all of these. Also at Maker's Market, I picked up these 2 cigars. So this one's the rye, I'm guessing, right? It's green. I'm only assuming it's the rye. But I saw these cigars right by the cash register, and they're barber poles. And there's another one. It's all wrapped up. And this is a unique one. Look, it's kind of barber pole, but it's not like slanted down. I think this is a bourbon one. So I saw my cash register. I've never seen Angel's Envy cigars before. I have no idea if these are any good, but these are both 25 bucks each. So not exactly cheap cigars, but we'll see how they are. And then I did one of those experiences where you basically bottle your own bourbon, whiskey, whatever. We got to choose out of 4 different things. It's basically Larceny, Elijah Craig, the Bernheim, and the Select. The Select was malt, and it wasn't that good. So I kind of, that's what, going into it, that's what I wanted, but the Larceny was the best one. So see how like has my name on it, my chicken scratch. So you know I definitely did it. And that was $80 for the Larceny. Then not at the same location, but I think a different day, I got this. Now this is from doing the barrel pick. We were allowed two out of 6 of us were allowed to buy these, and I got really lucky. That was one of the 6, but it was $250. So not cheap. However, if you guys know anything about bourbon, super allocated, super rare. I've never had one of these before. It was in my Whiskey Cigar Club. It did okay. It didn't do top 4. If you guys seen that video, it was the first crack. So I'll definitely try to get some other stuff soon. Maybe the Baker's 13, because it's another 13 year. So I've always wanted a bottle of Baker's 13, and I finally got it at the distillery for $155. So again, not cheap. Bardstown, we don't get Bardstown up in Connecticut. This was exclusive to the distillery, or the tasting room, I guess, down in Louisville. I went in there for the Cathedral, and they sold out 2 guys in front of me, because we went to the Michter's line first, and that's how I got this one. So I'm happier with this only because I had the Cathedral at the bar, and it was okay. Secondary's nuts on it. I'm not sure what I would have even done with it, but this Bardstown is small batch stave finish in oak staves. So mainly it's an 8-year-old Georgia bourbon, the main thing. But Bardstown has their own stuff in there, 26%, some Kentucky, more Kentucky, some 6% 12-year-old Kentucky. That was $65. And then going back to this is another one of those bottle your own things. He says, you'll see my name is kind of in the front. On the front, you could have put anything you want. And I see on secondary, people put stuff on there to try to sell on secondary. This is for me. I'm not trying to flip any of this stuff. So, and then on the front, you also, on the bottle itself, you had to write your own name. They're very anal about that. And so this is Fort Nelson, but what it is cask strength bourbon from Michter's. So it's 112.6 proof, which they're telling us, I think it's one of the higher proofs that they have. And this was 160. All right, so another lineup of, these are all of these bottles I got shipped to me. So the Found North 18, which if you don't know how Found North does their thing now, they basically do like a lottery system to buy. So if you don't win, you have a better chance the next time. And I won the opportunity to buy a Found North in like 3 tries. So I finally got one. It's this 18, the 18-year-old cask strength Canadian, mostly corn, 91% corn, 8% rye, barley. So this is with shipping. All of these are going to be with shipping because you have to pay that. 180, 2 cents off, but 180 for the Found North, which again, not that cheap. The Conviction I got from a friend for $6 total. I'm actually gonna probably open this today because I've been wanting to get into it. These 2 Old Forester I also got from a friend. I've never had any of these 117 series. Actually, I do have one of them. I don't know. Maybe I got it from a friend too, because I've never been to Old Forester Distillery, which is, these are distillery only. So this one's the extra old bourbon, 93 proof, and the other one's a rye, bottle and bond rye at 100 proof, bottle and bond. So I got both of those for 160 total. Then these short barrel Bs, which are tiny little bottles, 375s, and these were selected by Whiskey Wisdom, which is a YouTuber. I actually don't follow this YouTuber, but I watched, I think maybe the Whiskey Van. I might be wrong, but I forgot who recommended to buy these. It might have even been SLB. I'm not really sure. But I went to their page and I picked them up. So both of these were 142 all total with shipping. And then this Art Spirit, which I got from my buddy out in Colorado. He lives right by this distillery. 100 and 53.6 proof. That's like super hazmat. So 10-year-old cash strength bourbon, and with shipping was $121. Another bottle I'm pretty excited to get into. And then this is Night Stalker from Evan North, which is the Bourbon Junkies distillery, and with shipping that's $106. A couple things I got in the mail. Be back with some from local liquor stores. All right, so now we got into a bunch of onesie twosies over the course of the last few weeks. So I went to one liquor store that I stop in all the time. I picked up a 13th Colony Maple, which I'm sure I sent that to someone because I only see one on the table that has his own receipt. And they had Penelope Rio just sitting on the shelf, which I have never owned a Penelope Rio before, so I was excited to see it. So I got too excited I bought two. I'm sure I'll trade away the other one because I don't have any intentions of opening them both unless I really love it, but we'll see. I plan on doing a review of it. I've had pours and samples of previous batches. I have heard that this year's batch is actually pretty good, so it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch to me, and that's fine, but it's very specific. And these were both $110, and the 13 Colony was $60. Case you cared. Rebel 100, the Rebel has a new label now. It's a little older, it's less proof. I do like the label. I like blue and silver. So this is a store pick by me, and this one was $50. Oh, this is where the Keepers is. Also, I picked up the Keepers the same day. I was wondering where the receipt was at for that. It was right here. So the Rebel was $50 and the Maker's Mark was $80, the Keepers. And if you haven't seen the review on that, it's one of the very last videos, one of the videos right before this one. So pretty good. And a couple Wellers, and another video I've done is comparing 3 Weller store picks versus a shelf one. This one from Wines and More was $68. This one from Conti's was $69. So pretty much the same price. I also picked up a Augusta Buckner's 15-year for $320. Not a cheap bottle. Very good though. And I can't find it. So I didn't put too much effort looking for it, but it's in here somewhere. I hope. Because it's not a cheap bottle, but it's not on the table. So, and then this rye, this Nulu double oaked rye, $110. I had a sample at the store, very delicious. I also picked up a Nashville Barrel single barrel for $110. That's 10-year bourbon. Again, not on the table. Don't know where it is, but that was $110 as well. Picked this Penelope American Light Whiskey. Tiramisu to go, 17-year-old, 135 proof. And this one is $111. And these are good. If you haven't had one of these Penelope American Light Whiskeys, delicious. I haven't had this exact one, but I have 2 other ones I got last month. At least I think I got them last month. They are sitting over here, but I couldn't find a receipt, so I didn't know for sure if it was this month or last. So the G4 Reposado, which you would have seen a review on this, even though I'm recording these backwards, for the Cinco de Mayo video before this video. This bottle was $60. I don't know if it's good or not, but I'm about to do the review on it, so we'll see. A local store again. I got the Wild Turkey 8-year, which I've done a review on, for $38.69, so $39. And they also had a Each-Heller small batch for $65, which eventually when I do bottle giveaways, I'll definitely be giving away E.H. Taylor small batch. I have a couple of them. They're good, but whenever I see them, I pick them up at MSRP. They're good bottles to trade. Now we'll get into a little bit bigger hauls, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, couple more 2Z, 3Zs. So I went to one of my local stores, and I go in there all the time just to see what they had. And they had these Jack Daniels. Look at that proof. It's like 138 proof. And it's from the Coy Hill Barrel House, which I love Jack Daniel's rye. It's the highest proof I've ever seen, and it's Coy Hill. Take my money. So this was 80 bucks, which is higher than they usually are, which I'm okay with. And then I picked up this, I don't know how to say this, Terrabag? Terrabag. Let's go Terrabag. Single Scotch whiskey, smoke and brine. I don't know. I just liked the stuff about smokiness on it, so I picked that up. It was 90 bucks. This, I'm pretty sure I talked about this on a video before where it was like the Easter egg hunt video, or I talked about doing an Easter egg hunt where the first 100 people got to go look for an egg and it gave you a number, and I ended up being 36. And so this is the bottle I got the opportunity to buy at 36, which is the E. Taylor Straight Rye Bottle and Bond, and that ended up being 70 bucks. I also picked up this Jacob's Pardon 18 year, another hazmat, 142.7 proof, and that was $175. And I also picked up a Yellowstone Small Batch Reserve 6 year for 45 bucks. And that's around here somewhere for sure, because I'm going to do a video on that. I don't even know some of these bottles are around here. Just don't know where. Okay, so then we go to these three over here. And so I already did a review on the Calumet Farm 17 year. I do plan on doing another review once I get the 18 year in. So the 18, 17, 16, and 15, I want to do a blind of those four. The 18 should be here and soon, this month, supposedly. So this was $179.99. Oh, with discount, I paid $341.99. So $342. So way cheaper than the $399 MSRP that I saw online. Still pretty expensive, but it is very good. So I don't know. Also picked up the Calumet Farm. This is the rye. This is a new one that came with the centennial release with the rest of the Calumets, and that one is $81. Well, $89.99 MSRP, $81 with discount, which is funny because the Old Forester didn't have a discount. So some things have discounts, some things don't, whatever. So this is $120, but I'm pretty sure. So when I was looking at the pricing for the stuff I bought online, I was kind of looking through Discord messages, and I realized that I'm pretty sure I offered this to someone, and I was like, oh, let me get you a shipping cost. I'll give you total. So I'm gonna reach out to you. I don't know if you watch this channel, but I'm gonna reach out to that guy right after this video and be like, hey, you still want that 1924? But it's here. $120 for the 1924, and that's these. Okay, second to last. The last one's a pretty good one, so stay tuned. So this is like a random day. These are just random bottles. But these are all from the same store. The Ancient Age 1.75 liter for 20 bucks and 69 cents. I got this for my buddy. I haven't seen him since I bought it. This is a bottle he picked up over Pappy 15 in the blind. So you don't really see them in Connecticut that much, but I have now seen them in a couple stores. Super cheap Buffalo Trace product. Anyways, so this is pretty cool. So this is an Old Ezra 7 year. This is the first pick of these in the country. And my local store got it. And so this was $69.99 MSRP. I got 63 bucks. But that's a pretty cool thing. The first pick in the whole country. Something I definitely want to get into. And then there's the waffles. The WB Saffel. This was 55 MSRP, but I paid 50. And then I haven't seen these before. Now I have one. So this one, let's see, this is the wheated mash bill. This is the rye mash bill. I have like mash one I've had for a while. And this is basically just before it goes into the oak barrels. So the different mash bills. I don't know. We'll do some sciencey stuff with it, I guess. Get a couple little barrels and age our own Buffalo Trace stuff, and both of those were 18 bucks. Whatever. Then these maple things that apparently are all over Connecticut, but nowhere else in America. And that is 54 bucks with discount. And then I picked up this new, wow, there's not much left in this. This new Penelope Peach Old Fashioned, ready to drink. It's 30 proof, right? No, 80 proof. I actually had some of this. I got this actually for my sister-in-law. We went over her house right after I went to this liquor store. I was like, maybe they'll drink it. They drank some. My wife has been drinking most of this though. She enjoys it. And that is 25 bucks. So, you know, a bunch of old fashions for 25 bucks. Sweet, but with the ice kind of dissolving, kind of diluting the sweetness, pretty good. Last one coming. All right, before I get to my last one, something I actually wanted to say in the beginning, but I completely forgot. If you see anything in my monthly hauls that you want me to review, put in a comment, because I will gladly open anything up and review it. So if you haven't seen a review on something you want to see a review, put in the comments. Also, 95% of my stuff is on my ONLYDRAMS account. And if you don't know what ONLYDRAMS is, it's basically an app that you can track or inventory all your bottles. There's other features on there too. But I specifically use it to inventory my over 1,000 bottle collection. And so my ONLYDRAMS account is CarlosGarciaCT, all one word. I'll link it in the description. If you are on ONLYDRAMS, you can go follow me and you can see what bottles I have. So if you see something that you want to review on there, again, just comment. Okay, now this is a strange day, right? So I went to my local liquor store that I shop at a lot, and we're out there drinking and some samples of, you know, the stuff they have. And then I went shopping, which is always fun. One of the things that I went there specifically for was this Rare Character Exceptional series, and it's apparently they have two different ones. This was the Bluebird one. I guess the other one's actually a little bit older and a little bit higher proof, so boo on me, I guess. But this one was $200 for this Rare Character. Now it's open. We had it. I opened it at the store so we could try it versus the other one. Delicious. Okay, and then I went shopping and I saw this other Calumet, and this is also a new release. So the older one was, I think, 15-year-old and maybe a 5-year-old combination, but now that's 17 and 7. And this Calumet blend is 70 bucks. So freaking me out because it's green, but it's a bourbon. So I'll probably throw this in with when I finally get to 18, because this is 17 and 7. I'm sure there's a lot of it's 7 based off of just the pricing. Okay, then they had a couple barrels I picked up. So this one's cast finish in Mezzanera, that's 6 years, and the double barrel 5 years, which I see a lot of reviews for this. The Mezzanera was 85, and the double bourbon, the double barrel, was 55. Now, these two. So I was talking, the guy was talking, he's like, oh, I got a couple bottles in the back that we just got. We don't know what to do with them. I was like, you should sell them to me. I don't even know what you're talking about. But what they were is, this is an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A118. So this came out back in 2018, 130 proof. So this would be a good one to compare to like the newer batches. And that was 80 bucks. And this Booker's, which is a 2016 04. So I don't know if you can see it through the glass, but this is the Bluegill Creek batch. Of course, the bluegill. What's it called? Fred Noah was talking about bluegills when we did that experience with him. That's cool. And this is the Booker's Bourbon, 95 bucks. So a couple very old bottles that I'm sure I'll never find, and it's kind of just happened that they found them. Whatever. I don't ask too many questions. But because I shop there a lot, you know, this is what you talk about. You build those relationships with the local stores so that you can get possible stuff that, you know, they have for their loyal customers. So that's that. There's a couple more bottles on the table, like 3 more. But I don't have the receipts. I'm not 100% sure if they're from May or not. But whatever. That was enough anyways, right? Right. So don't do nothing stupid. And if you do, don't get caught. Bye.